Welcome to the Isis in the Bible Summer Gathering, week number 3, Womb View. The question for today, what fascinating thing can you tell us about a womb? Is the womb more than a biological chamber? Is it a universal pattern? The ancients carved it into stone, painted it on temples, wrapped it in wings, protected it with serpents, and placed it at the center of their sacred stories. Whether in a womb, a dream, a cave, a tomb, or beneath the stars, the message appears unchanged. Awareness enters, forgets, remembers, and is born again. That's the beautiful part. We're in the awareness stage now. That's a phoenix rising, lifting the veil. Become aware that you are the one that fixes it all. The journey is not about escaping the cycle, but learning how to navigate it consciously through love, memory, and the images that guide us home. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the sky. So July 4th, we've been talking about for quite a while, right? With Ceres and Lilith, right? Temptations, abundance, and Ceres harvesting of relationships, right? People come in and out of your life all the time. If somebody comes into your life, leaves your visible, that's Ceres. If they leave the visible completely and go to another womb, they haven't left, they're just in another womb. That's Ceres. That's the harvester, no different than a seed. Right? A seed on a tree or whatever. So on July 4th, that alignment happens, but note that the South Node is heading towards Regulus. We'll talk about that in another slide. Lilith is aligned, Ceres, again, temptations versus abundance and relationships. And then here's a big one. The Mars aligns Uranus, and Uranus is the roof over people's homes, and Mars is fire. And what's happening right now, and I know in Canada, a lot of people have their homes visited by somebody doing the census. Why didn't you fill out your census? So that's fire and a roof over your head. So people need to make sure that the people that are showing up to your door, if you don't want to fill out your census, it's not them. They're just trying to they just have a job to do. Okay, so they're just trying to make money, and the government's being silly trying to do this. It should be totally optional and not forced. The moon will be transiting the north-south node. So this is kind of a pre-day, the July the 4th, on what the flavor could be like coming up when Uranus hits on Regulus, which we'll talk about. And again, so many alignments are happening on that day with Ceres, Juno, and the moon, and Lilith. So hang on and have a look. All right. And oh, by the way, yes, and these north nodes is the womb, right? This is the black hole. This is the entrance and exits to the womb, is these north and south nodes. Okay, so July 24th is Bravehearts. So July 24th, the South Node aligns Regulus. Regulus is one of the 4 royal stars, right? So there's so much happening around July the 25th. Remember, Rosemary painted that painting of the alignment that's happening in the sky months ago, and we got to see it. So that North Node on the moon, on the node of the moon, the South Node, is an entrance to the womb and aligns Regulus, the Braveheart. And then remember, Juno and Pluto, they're almost in alignment that day because they went on the 23rd or the 24th. These two, so the Divine Masculine and Mary Magdalene, are one of 3 times that they're going to meet together. July the 24th is one of those meetings. All around the July 25th that we've all been talking about, so much happening in the sky. So if you remember, we're in this Annapurana. They're controlling the whole chart. The Divine Masculine and the Earthen Mother. But note that Venus comes out of this Annapurana. So the Annapurana is anything between, on one side of the north and south node, the reincarnation nodes, the entrance to the womb. So Venus coming out, that's Mother Nature. So stay tuned, because she's going to give more and more signs. As we've been seeing them already, it's going to, on the July the 10th, Venus comes out and helps control the chart, running the chart. So remember that we're also saying this summer is the dance between those two, which was what? The Knights Templars. So remember, a lot of people are getting arrested. They're having to take a rest, right? So the last time that the South Node landed on Regulus was December 19th, 2007. So what happened back then? Well, there's something major here that I think is important for what we're in the middle of right now. Pakistan was in a major political crisis, issued a new provisional order, removed or pressured judges, restricted media and many lawyers, civil rights people, and opposition figures were detained. So they went into a state of emergency that looked like an old authority structure trying to freeze the law, silence the messengers, and keep the crown from being judged. So that's the way this history will reframe it. But this is, just know that these type of alignments, people get a brave heart and they go and take down the systems that aren't needed anymore. And you know that our political system needs to go bye-bye. We run the world with our images and our minds. So the control is within us. We created it. Now it's time for us to recreate it. So back then there was a freedom fighter female minister that left the visible about 8 days later. So people were showing their brave heart. We'll always have a small wins, but the media never shares the truth. This time it's different. Mama is home. So again, there has been a lot of arrests all over in the news in Ontario, but arrest doesn't mean you're getting handcuffs put on you. It means you're going to take a time out. So when we're going through a cleanse, it's a time out. That's okay. Have whatever you do. Come to Jesus meetings, speak to God, talk to Mother Mary, whoever it is that you speak to with unconditional love. It's time for that over and over. A couple other things that happened on that date, 2007, December 19th, there was a major explosion in a laboratory in Jacksonville, Florida. Chemicals. Well, we're getting signs. We got to stop doing that crap, right? So, and then I know that a whole bunch of fishing boats near Ecuador all caught fire, like 10, 15 boats all caught fire all at the same time. That's spirit doing that, folks. So other than that, back then there was a major winter storm and there was a financial unraveling and they were going into a recession back then. So these are markers of what's happening in the sky, folks. So July 24th, as we're coming onto there, Regulus is going to be very influential. Okay, so getting into talking about the womb, I want to talk about this sarcophagus, which explains the womb perfectly. So this does not belong to anyone, these sarcophagus. They're a living message that there's no need to place a body back in a vessel. In other words, into a box in the ground. You're going back to a new vessel and a new womb. That happens regardless. You're infinite. So you don't need a box, and take that to the banks of the River Nile, that we don't need to be put back in a box. That's happening all on its own, going to a new womb. So this remarkable stone sarcophagus dates to approximately 380 to 300 BC and comes from a period rich in symbolic and cosmological imagery. What draws my attention is not the object itself, but the teachings seemingly encoded upon it. Repeated throughout its surface are symbols associated with cobras, wings, celestial forms, and circular gateways, aka wombs. Whether viewed as a spiritual, symbolic, or instructional, the imagery appears to communicate a profound message about transformation, passage, and renewal. As we explore these carvings together, I invite you to take a closer look and consider this artifact was designed not to preserve a body, but to preserve the wisdom. If everybody's burying everybody in a box, where would you put the wisdom? On a box. But you don't need to bury yourself in it, because it's going to explain that you don't need to, and that's what the catch-22 is of this sarcophagus. So what if the ancient Egyptians were showing you a sarcophagus and a womb as being the same thing? So I want to do a little bit of a jump into this. So before we focus on any one symbol, let's take a moment to appreciate the sarcophagus. From every angle, we get this carvings that's given us these beautiful, beautiful messages. It's a three-dimensional teaching, inviting us to walk around it, contemplate it, and discover its meaning layer by layer. We're going to focus on the circles that represent the womb and you being infinite. So these are just a bunch of pictures of the whole sarcophagus going around it. We're going to focus in on these images that are all over this portion of it, and then also up on there. And these are just different snapshots of the whole sarcophagus, just for your information. Oh yeah, and Lex said he wasn't able to make it today. He's going through a wave himself. Okay, so let's start looking a little bit closer. One thing immediately stands out: the symbols of the womb are not isolated. They are repeatedly throughout the sarcophagus, almost as if the builders wanted our attention drawn to them again and again. And the again and again is very important. So just as interesting is what surrounds them. In several places we find two cobras positioned, like this one right here, right? I'm going to bring this over so we can know what I'm talking about. This symbol here, okay, is all throughout this. And again, the middle part is the womb, and these are the two cobras that protect the womb. This is what eclipses, right? The cobra eclipses you, as we know. So it's a threshold protecting a circular gateway. So whether we interpret the gateway literally, symbolically, or spiritually, the message appears consistent. Beyond this point lies the change of state. So two cobras. So when you go in here, you'll see these. I put these over top so it's clearer. So you can see here, this is Newt. This represents a womb. This represents the sky, the top of the womb, because you're always within a womb. So the firmament, the sky. So you can see right in her belly, there's the womb, right? This is a symbol of the womb, and only protecting what beautiful can come in and out of here. There's one here, but this one's showing how it's a womb within a womb. We'll talk about that in a second. This one I haven't figured out. I'm not sure if that's where the heart space is or if it's part of the breast, because the breasts do feed baby. But if you look down below, it's showing that it's holding up a system. And then you got like the phoenix, this symbol here, the phoenix rising symbol with a womb, another phoenix rising symbol with a womb, another phoenix rising symbol with a womb, and then you have the firmament, another womb. This is the reincarnation nodes, guys. We've showed you this symbol many times. The reincarnation nodes are everywhere, right? These are the reincarnation nodes, right? These are the entrances to every field, everywhere. When we showed you the reincarnation of the young boy that used to be a pilot, and then when we showed you the people that did the near-death experiences, these are at play. You never die. You're infinite. And this is what this is telling you, that you're always going holographically from womb to womb to womb to womb, and you're in this womb. So that's where the holographic nature comes in. And if you remember, we talked about the Jebel Barkal, where they show this image where you cannot enter unless you're divine. We're good people. That's why we are able to have babies. And some people don't have babies, and that's fine too. It just means you're not meant to bring one out now. Maybe you got a little bit of work to do. Maybe you don't. Maybe everybody around you is your children. Like teachers, some don't have kids, but they're teachers and they have lots of children. So this imagery is everywhere. And again, this was on the dream stela at the Sphinx, because it's a phoenix rising. It's the awareness of this infinite nature that you are. So these cobras are the gateways. The two cobras are the circular opening. Throughout the Egyptian imagery, the cobra often marks a threshold of transformation. The circular symbol appears repeatedly. Repetition suggests that it's important teaching rather than decoration. It's important to note that on the lid, they actually show a being inside of it, a black being. This is a baby. This is you reincarnating. Looking at two female images, lifting it up. This is all beautiful stuff, folks. Newt is showing you that it's a womb within a womb, the firmament over top of the womb, over top of the womb. So the pattern appears self-similar, with smaller cycles nested within larger ones. So that lid figure, it shows within the circular gateway. It appears to depict consciousness passing through a threshold. Yeah, so this would be near-death experience, reincarnation, all those same things. This is the symbol for that. We were very wise, and we're becoming aware again. We think we're technologically advanced. No, we're not. We're destroying the earth, and Mother Nature is going to take it back. I don't want to say destroy the earth. We've used the earth in a way that is not conducive to Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is going to take it down. So then, and that dream stela, that Jebel Barkal, that same symbol is everywhere. It's a fractal nature. The same pattern repeats at different scales, a being within a womb, within a greater womb, within even a greater cycle. Just like the nautilus shell, a womb within a womb, each chamber reflects the pattern of the whole. So this is a beautiful thing, folks. So we bring these images together, a remarkable pattern that begins to emerge. The cobra stands as a guardian of transformation, protecting a circular gateway that appears repeatedly throughout the sarcophagus, at the Sphinx, and even in natural landscape of the Jebel Barkal. Whether these symbols were intended as spiritual teachings, observations of nature, or both, they seem to point toward the same idea. Life unfolds through cycles of passage, renewal, and remembrance. Every one of us entered this world through a womb, a vessel of transformation, yet the ancients repeatedly surrounded their teachings with other vessels: the egg, the seed, the cave, the temple sanctuary, the sarcophagus, and even Nut herself. This is Nut, right? Which is the Milky Way, which is the rainbow. Okay, the rainbow is telling you the shape of the womb you're in, and you're within a womb within a womb. Okay, womb within a womb within a womb. So this invites us to ask a profound question. Why do the ancients keep placing transformation inside containers? Perhaps the answer lies in self-similar patterns we observe through nature. A womb within a womb, a cycle within a cycle, a vessel within a greater vessel. Like the chambers of the nautilus shell, each new beginning emerges from what came before while preserving the pattern of the whole. The message may be simpler than we can imagine. The transformation is not exception to life. It is the very fabric of life. From seed to tree, from dream to awakening, from womb to world, and perhaps from one world to another, the journey continues. The veil lifts, and we recognize that we are not separate from the pattern. We are participants within it. So it's really important we talk about images, the images that we keep, right, folks? The ancients remind us that every journey begins with an image. If the universe is self-similar and consciousness grows through remembrance, then the images we nourish are among the most important choices we make. May we fill our inner world with love, beauty, courage, harmony, and wonder. And so whatever threshold lies ahead, we carry a light worthy of the journey. We're always preparing our waters with our images. Our words have to be performed into images. Only allow loving images in all day long. Only allow loving words, unconditional loving words, all day long, because you're always preparing the waters of your next womb. There is no menu that you can pick, like when you go into a restaurant, of what kind of life you want to have, because the menu is every now moment. Every now moment, the image that you let in is how it affects your universe of waters within you. So it's really important that those images 100%, which is also, like we talked about, the image of the scarab beetle. He's always projecting himself to the next womb. So why images matter? Human beings think that images before words. A child recognizes faces before language. Dreams arrive as imagery. Memories arrive as imagery. Visions arise as imagery. Symbols become navigational markers. Just as sailors use stars, the ancients used sacred images, not as idols, but as maps. Maps for consciousness. The menu for choosing the next womb is in every now moment. I don't know how many of you have seen the community video that we've put out, where we show you that bamboo continues to grow in the wintertime in Japan. Well, my daughter went to Japan with her son and daughter and husband. My grandson said, I want to go to Japan. He's going to be 8 years old on the 25th, by the way. And what does he do? He gets there. Not only do they go to the, I'm going to do it in another video, go to the Wan Yin temple, which is a beautiful story of how they hid the statue because she goes into the underworld. But look what he did. There's my daughter taking a picture of him going through the very similar picture that we've been imagining. So my grandson comes through multiple wombs, and we're imagining where we want to be, and he's there getting a picture of the image that I've been projecting. Isn't that wild? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so my daughter said it's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning there, and lots of beautiful Buddha spiritualism. I can tell that they were very satisfied and amazed at what they saw. So I wrote this couple of few sentences because it's important that we know that the train is coming. The train is here. Love is always here. So the train is coming. It stops for everyone. It's up to you to get on. You will find the entrance through your heart. If a doorway leading to your heart is locked, asking it for forgiveness is the key to unlocking it. So welcome, take a seat, enjoy the ride to calm shores. The way to get on the train is, like I said, unconditional love, forgiveness, and pure images. You just get sucked right into that love vortex. And I know everybody's experiencing it. And it ain't because I'm telling you about it, because it's happening in the stars. It's happening no matter what you say or do. You will come to that vortex and together with everyone under one love and unity. So the last slide, I thought I'd stick in a couple of verses about the firmament, the Milky Way, the rainbow, the womb, the field, the atom. It's all the same thing. The roof over your head. If the firmament is the great celestial vessel and the womb is the vessel through which we enter this world, what might the ancients have been teaching when they repeated the same patterns in both heaven and earth? So Genesis 1:6-8, let there be a firmament amidst the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. They're saying the wombs from the wombs, the holographic fractal nature, whatever you want to call it. Those words seem so materialistic to me, but it is kind of a truth. A womb within a womb is the most beautiful thing. Daniel 12:3, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, the Milky Way. Who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain. This is, to me, it's just really beautiful. This womb within a womb within a womb. I love it. And remember King James, before he wrote his Bible, he went to Egypt because they know they had to study the Egyptian walls in order to write a good Bible. So I'm going to do one dedicated to that one of these times. I got to refine those documents that I researched a couple weeks ago. And that's all we have for today. May your next womb be filled with purified waters. One love.